My girlfriend shared on social media, "Some will never climb higher," right after I lost my job. I commented simply, "I agree." When she discovered the true reason for my departure and the startup I'd been quietly building for 2 years, she rushed to delete her post, but screenshots had already gone viral. I'm a 29-year-old guy who was let go from my corporate position 3 weeks ago. My girlfriend, Sarah, 27, hasn't been my biggest supporter, to put it mildly. She's been outright harsh. We've been together 3 years, living together for the last 12 months. When I came home that Friday and told her I'd been laid off, my entire department was cut due to company downsizing. Her first words weren't comfort or encouragement. She asked, "How will you cover your share of the rent?" I told her I had savings, unemployment benefits would help, and I'd start job hunting Monday. She smirked, "Maybe aim smaller this time. That job was probably too big for you." For context, I earned $75K as a logistics specialist. Not a fortune, but decent. Sarah makes about $60K as a brand coordinator and never misses a chance to remind me her work is creative, while mine was just data and charts. What she doesn't know is why I was fine with the layoff. She's unaware of the company I started 2 years ago. She doesn't know about the patent we filed. She's clueless about the $400K in revenue we earned last year. Whenever I tried to mention my side project, she dismissed it as another one of your little distractions. So I stopped sharing. My business partner, Daniel, and I developed a specialized tool for HVAC setups. Sounds dull, right? But it reduces installation time by 40%, and every contractor who's tested it wants exclusive rights. We've been working nights and weekends, reinvesting all profits into the business. The plan was to go full-time next year, but the layoff just pushed things forward. Here's where it gets interesting. 2 days ago, Sarah posted online, "Surround yourself with ambition. Some will never climb higher, and that's okay. But you don't have to stay stuck with them. Know your worth. Climb higher, power woman." She tagged her location at a fancy brunch spot with her friends on a Tuesday while I was job searching. The comments were what you'd expect. Her friends hyping her up with "Go, Queen," and "Don't let dead weight slow you down." One friend, Emma, even wrote, "Is this about you-know-who?" Sarah replied with a winking emoji. So I commented, "I agree." 2 words. The chaos was instant. My phone blew up. Sarah texted, "What's that supposed to mean? Delete that now. You're embarrassing me." I didn't respond. I was in a meeting with our supplier, finalizing a major order. What Sarah didn't know was that last week, a top HVAC firm offered to buy our entire company, not just the product, for $3.2 million. Daniel and I had been weighing the offer. The layoff made my decision easy. We accepted yesterday. Back to Sarah's reaction. When I ignored her texts, she called my mom. She claimed I was being petty and spiteful, despite her being nothing but supportive during my job loss. My mom, who I tell everything, wasn't impressed. "Supportive? You called him a failure," she told Sarah. Sarah didn't know I confide in my mom. Her texts kept coming, but I stayed silent. I was at my attorney's office signing paperwork. The deal closes in 30 days. After taxes and splitting with Daniel, I'll walk away with about $1.4 million. Last night, Sarah confronted me at home. "Why are you acting so childish about losing your job? My post wasn't even about you." I looked at her and said, "Then why are you so upset about my comment?" She had no answer. This morning, I woke to 37 messages from her friends, calling me an insecure jerk who can't handle a strong woman. Emma sent me a job listing for a warehouse role, saying this might be more your level. Nice. I start moving out tomorrow. I've already signed a lease for my own place. Sarah doesn't know yet. She's at work posting quotes about cutting toxic people out of your life. The irony is rich. I moved out last Thursday while Sarah was at work, took all my stuff, left my key on the counter with a note, "Climbing higher. Rent's paid through the month. Good luck." Her reaction was immediate. She came home to a half-empty apartment. I didn't realize how much furniture I owned. She lost it, calling me 73 times in 2 hours. My phone tracked it when I checked the next day. Her texts ranged from "Where are you?" to "You can't just leave like this," to "I'm reporting you for theft," to "Please come back so we can talk like adults." I replied once, "Everything I took was mine. The lease is in your name. This is your notice I've moved out." Then I blocked her. But it gets wilder. Friday morning, she showed up at my mom's house at 6 a.m. demanding my new address. My mom, who just finished a night shift, was furious. She told Sarah to leave or she'd call the police. Sarah cried, saying she just wanted to talk and didn't understand what went wrong. My mom said, "You called my son a failure for losing his job. What's to understand?" Sarah tried to explain she was just being honest to push me to improve. My mom laughed and shut the door. So Sarah went to my old workplace. Yes, the company that laid me off. She asked security to let her in, claiming she needed to check on her boyfriend, who might be having a breakdown. Security contacted my former boss, who called me confused. "Your girlfriend's here saying you're missing." I explained we'd broken up and apologized for the drama. He laughed, dodged a bullet, huh? But Sarah wasn't done. She posted online expressing concern about my mental health crisis and asking people to report if they'd seen me, implying I was unstable. My phone exploded with worried messages from mutual friends. I had to clarify I was fine, just ended a relationship and moved out like a normal person. Then Daniel texted me. "Dude, your ex is messaging me on LinkedIn asking where you are." How does she know me? Good question. I'd kept my business private. Turns out she dug through my old laptop. I'd wiped it but not well enough and she found some emails. She knew about the company, Daniel, and the pending sale. Her tone shifted instantly. Saturday, I got a text from an unknown number, Emma's phone. "Baby, I'm so sorry. I was stressed about money. Can we talk? I love you and support your dreams, my dreams." The same hobby she mocked for years. I didn't reply. Sunday, she showed up at my new apartment. How? She followed Daniel from his place. He spotted her car, called me, and led her on a pointless drive around town for an hour before losing her at a light. But she found my place eventually. She arrived Sunday night with takeout from my favorite restaurant, wearing the bracelet I'd given her for her birthday. "Please just listen," she said when I opened the door. "I know I haven't been the best partner, but I've been thinking. Sarah, you need to leave. I know about your company, the sale. We can work through this. We're a team, a team." After years of dismissing my work, after calling me a failure, after mocking me online, "We're not a team, we're done, leave." She tried to push past me. "You can't throw away 3 years. I stood by you, stood by me. You said I'd never climb higher 2 days after I lost my job. That wasn't about you. Your friend asked if it was about me and you laughed. She had no comeback, just angry tears. You tricked me. You hid assets. I'll sue for half." I laughed. "We're not married. We never shared a bank account. You owe me for 3 years of emotional support. You called my business a hobby. I was protecting you from failure." The excuses were wild. I told her to leave or I'd call the cops. She left shouting, "You'll regret this when you realize no one will love you like me." I shut the door thinking, I hope so. The sale closes in 3 weeks. Daniel and I are already planning our next venture. As for Sarah, she's about to see what climbing higher really looks like. The past 2 weeks have been crazy. Sarah actually tried to sue me. She hired a lawyer. This guy called last Monday talking about fair division of assets from our relationship. I gave him my lawyer's number and told him to get lost. My lawyer called later, cracking up. Apparently, Sarah's lawyer was a rookie who thought he could scare me into settling. When my lawyer explained that unmarried couples with no shared assets have no claim in our state, the guy said, "But she did his laundry. Laundry. Once. And she ruined my favorite jacket." Sarah dug her own grave, though. To prove we were basically married, she submitted social media posts as evidence, including the one calling me a failure, her laughing comments, and DMs with Emma where she called me a burden, and said she was waiting for me to step up or step out. Her lawyer told her to drop the case. Then the universe piled on. Her brand coordinator job, the one she bragged about, her company has a strict online conduct policy. Someone, not me, I swear, sent HR screenshots of her posts claiming I was in a mental health crisis when I'd just moved out. HR called her in, issued a warning for unprofessional behavior, and made her delete the posts and post a public apology. I regret my recent post implying my ex-partner was in a mental health crisis. He's fine and I was mistaken. I'm sorry for any concern caused. The comments were brutal. Someone wrote, "So he left you and you tried to paint him as unstable? Toxic much?" Then our company's acquisition hit the news. Tech blogs, startup sites everywhere. Multi-million-dollar deal showcases HVAC innovation. They ran a photo of Daniel and me with the buyers. My LinkedIn exploded, former colleagues, college friends, even high school teachers congratulating me. Among the notifications, a connection request from Sarah. I ignored it. She tried again with a fake profile, Samantha Lee Innovator. Stock photo and all, blocked that too. Then her friends started texting. "Emma, sorry about the warehouse jab. Sarah didn't mention your company. Congrats, need marketing help." No reply. "Olivia, I always knew you were too good for Sarah." Coffee. Ignored. Mia, who I barely know, looking for investors for my eco-friendly clothing line. Let's talk. The nerve. The peak. Sarah showed up at the closing last week. No idea how she knew the time and place. She was in the law firm's lobby, dressed like she was heading to a fashion shoot. Security wouldn't let her up without an appointment. She waited. When Daniel and I came down, officially millionaires, she approached. Security blocked her. 5 minutes, she pleaded. Daniel smirked. I'll wait in the car, starting a timer. I shouldn't have, but I let her talk. Maybe it was the money in my pocket. Maybe I wanted closure. I nodded to security. She started crying. I know I messed up. I wasn't there for you. I was scared you were drifting away with your project. So you shamed me publicly. I was hurt. I thought you'd leave me behind when you succeeded. So you left me behind when you thought I failed. No answer. I love you. I still do. Can't we try again? I'll sign any contract you want. Contract. She was already thinking about settlements. Sarah, you showed me who you are, someone who tears people down when they're struggling and only shows up when they're winning. I don't want that. You're throwing me away. After everything, you threw me away. I just agreed with you. Some people will never climb higher. Her face flushed. You knew about the money when you commented. You were taunting me. I agreed. You were right. Some people stay bitter and small. Thanks for the lesson. I walked away. She shouted, you'll be nothing without me. Just another rich tech guy with no heart. Daniel grinning in the car. How'd that go? As expected. She's still stunning. Stunning and awful. Dodged a missile. We drove off. I haven't heard from her since. I'm sure more drama's coming. Sarah's predictable like that. But I don't care. I've got a business to grow, investments to plan, and a life to live. Oh, and that post she tried to delete? It's a meme now in our friends' circle. Every time someone achieves something, they post just climbed higher with her hashtags. Karma's sweet. I wasn't planning another update, but last week was too good to skip. I've been thriving. Launched our new project, streamlining inventory systems for small businesses if you're curious. Bought a modest condo. Hitting the gym, traveling, enjoying calm and financial freedom. Sarah, from what I've heard, isn't doing great. That HR warning tanked her reputation at work. She started job hunting, but word spread about her false mental health crisis posts. Marketing's a tight-knit field, it seems. Last week I was eating lunch downtown when Sarah walked in. With a date. Some guy in a suit straight out of a finance ad. She was laughing loudly, touching his arm, doing that head tilt she does. She saw me, I know she did, because she got louder, making sure I heard her talk about exciting new ventures. I focused on my meal. The guy stepped out for a call. Predictably, Sarah came over. Hey, James, how's it going? She used my full name, her go-to, for sounding superior. Good, Sarah, you? Fantastic. That's Liam, he's in private equity. We've been dating a few weeks. We've been split for 6. Good for you, he's big into tech startups. You two should link up. I nearly laughed. I'm good, thanks. She leaned closer. I'm glad we parted ways. You were holding me back too. Liam values ambition. That's great, Sarah. Liam returned, all smiles, until he saw me. Sarah introduced us, emphasizing my small exit. Her words, Liam's eyes widened. You're the HVAC tool guy? That was genius. Our firm looked at that deal, but you moved too fast. What's next? I pitched our new company. He was hooked, handed me his card. Sarah's smile was fading. We should talk, Liam said. I've got $50 million to invest this quarter, and this fits perfectly. Sarah cut in. Babe, didn't you say you avoid niche markets? Liam looked puzzled. No, I target niche innovations. That's where the big returns are. I took his card, said nice to meet you, and went back to my table. Their conversation got tense. Liam asked about her loser ex who couldn't keep a job. Sarah tried to change the subject. When the check came, she did that thing where she doesn't even pretend to reach for her wallet. Liam paid, but I caught him rolling his eyes. They left separately. He stopped by my table on his way out. Hey man, sorry about that. I didn't know you two had history. She told me she'd been single for months. No worries. Not your fault. She also said you were unemployed and living with your mom, creative storytelling. He shook his head. You know what? I'm good, but seriously, call me about your startup, and thanks for the heads up. He left. Sarah was outside, pretending to be on her phone. She saw him walk past without stopping, and her face fell. Later that day, she unblocked me to send one text. You couldn't just let me be happy, could you? I didn't respond. I didn't need to. She'd ruined her own relationship by lying about me. All I did was exist and succeed. But the real kicker came yesterday. Sarah finally landed a new job. Great, right. Except it's at a company that just became one of our clients. She doesn't know yet. She starts next week. The CEO called me to ensure there'd be no issues given our history. I said we'd dated but parted amicably, a stretch, but I'm not here to sabotage her career. I wished her well. But here's the thing, our contract includes quarterly presentations to their marketing team. Her team. The universe has a sense of humor. I'll keep things professional. I won't mention our past. I'll walk in, present how our inventory system will transform their operations, and leave. But Sarah will be there, sitting among her new colleagues, while her ex explains how his second successful company will streamline their work. She'll have to smile, nod, and take notes. And I'm okay with that. Not because I want revenge or to flaunt my success, but because it's proof that the best response to someone saying you'll never climb higher is to climb higher. Without them, Daniel thinks I should warn her. But honestly, she'll find out when she finds out. Just like she discovered my first company. Just like she learned that some people will never climb higher applies to those who tear others down, not those who build themselves up. My mom called yesterday, said she ran into Sarah at the store. Sarah tried to chat, mentioned her new job, asked about me. My mom, sharp as ever, said, "He's doing exactly what you said he'd never do, climbing higher." Sarah mumbled "oh" and walked off. And that's the end of the Sarah chapter. I'll likely see her at that presentation. But after that, she's just someone I once knew who taught me a crucial lesson. When someone shows their true colors, trust them. And when they say you'll never amount to anything, prove them wrong. Not for them, for yourself. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got a business to run and a life to live. You know, climbing higher.